I am here with one of my favorite people to start off the show. Her name is Cari Horning, and I could talk about a lot of things on the show with her. She's been a guest before. We've talked about being college moms and sending our kids off into the brave new world. But today we're going to talk about her role with GWATA and what she's been up to the last several months. And then we'll have guests later in the show talking about a contest that was held. And we'll have the two first place winners. Thanks for being here, Cari.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I love this.
It's always a pleasure. Let's talk. You and I kind of pass through hallways and places, not as much now, but you're one of those people that you're always doing so many creative things that I wouldn't do justice trying to explain to our audience what it is you do. So if you'll do that for us.
Well, thank you. That's very gracious as well. I think I've said it in the past. Sometimes I just feel like the luckiest girl in the world. But when COVID hit, I had literally just started a new job 2 weeks prior to really everything shutting down. And within a few weeks of that, received a call from the local nonprofit GWATA, and they asked me if I could take on this work that was a Microsoft digital skills rollout. And it's really a global event. But GWATA was able to receive a grant to roll that out in the North Central Washington region. So they brought me on as the project manager to roll out UpSkill.
And you've taken on different projects over the months leading up to the project we're talking about here in just a minute. So tell us what your role is. Well, your role before, when you were more face-to-face with people, and how that's changed, but you're still able to remain effective.
Yeah, I think with everybody, or like everybody, we just had to pivot. So everything went virtual, and so the work that we've been doing in terms of rolling out this digital skills initiative, which we really rebranded as UpSkill, and it's just access. It's a portal to all kinds of free learning materials. So digital skills courses, soft skills courses, job-related, full job pathways, career pathways. And what we did is we partnered with a lot of different local agencies. We partnered with North Central Washington Libraries. Our biggest partnership was with WSU Extension Office. And it was just a way to say to anybody and everybody out there, if you're COVID-19 unemployed, underemployed, overemployed, if you're a student or a lifelong learner, there is coursework that's now available to you for free, thanks to Microsoft, LinkedIn, and GitHub. And let me show you how to access it. And so really we did webinars, we made personal presentations to Rotary clubs, schools. We were actually, before the final closure and kind of lockdown and COVID-19, we had some interns into the GWATA offices from Elmira Cooley Heartline High School. So we're really doing the same work. We're just doing it, here from the home office, like pretty much everybody else. But yeah, nothing else really much changed. There's less time on the road, so I'm not driving, which meant I had a little bit more family time and had a little bit more time to exercise and all those things. Used to spend a lot of hours on the road, but the work remains the same, just a lot of presentations and really trying to spread the word that, hey, there's this amazing opportunity for all kinds of free education to anybody. So that's been the work. It's been good.
Do you find that that this pandemic and how you've had to pivot and navigate it, do you feel like maybe you've created more access? Or is it the same and it's just different? Because when I'm hearing you talk and saying how, is there efficiencies in place that you couldn't have imagined? Or is it just about that pivot and creating the same access, or you're always trying to grow either way?
I think it's similar, to what we would have done, pre-pandemic. I think the biggest difference, to be honest with you, is, just missing that feedback, that interpersonal, feedback of it all. I did a presentation actually again for Elmira Cooley Heartline High School students before the holidays. And, I heard, as I did kind of the meeting prep or the presentation prep, I heard a lot from the staff at Elmira Cooley that, the students are, they're spent. There's a lot of that COVID fatigue. And we really then changed the whole process of our presentation to kind of try to lift them up. And I think giving that presentation virtually from my home office I cracked a joke with the students. I said, I wanted to make this feel as real as possible, so I put shoes on today. But you know, they were
pants on too.
yeah. So but they were sitting in their classrooms 6 feet apart, a much smaller quantity of students per classroom with their masks on. So in terms of getting that feedback, I think that's been the biggest thing that I've missed. But everything else, it really is kind of functioning, you know, possibly as it would have before. Again, though, without that process of jumping in the car, driving to the location. But to me, I miss that. I miss that greatly, because once you spend that time to get there, then you get that interpersonal connection and you get that feedback from the audience. I did some webinars with North Central Washington Library where it was similar to this type of an interview. No idea on the live feed how many people I was speaking to. So, you know, to try to land a joke, you know, I made a joke about landing the joke, said, hey, listen, I tell a joke and I laugh at it. It's really no different.
You need a laugh track in the background, right?
Yeah, exactly. So,
well, part of why you're chosen and selected for the work that you do is because you're such a people person, and that, you know, that energy that you bring. So I can imagine that they miss you as well. And some people who are encountering you for the first time, hopefully in the fairly near future, you'll be able to interact with those people and they'll go, oh, and then they'll realize the magnitude of the level that is reached when meeting in person. Perhaps.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I think we're all, I mean, I have high hopes, you know, for, you know, moving through this more so into fall, and really for everybody to kind of, even the introverts, to be like, hey, yes, this is great to be in people's presence again. So
maybe that's one of the lessons that's coming.
Yeah.
Let's talk briefly in the last few minutes here about our guests that we'll have later. The last two segments are Juan and Gabriella, a father-daughter team who won the contest. And I'm going to let you describe the Upscalathon Contest for our audience.
Yeah, absolutely. So for the month of December, we decided to run this Upskill-A-Thon Learning Challenge. And basically what it was is us saying, listen, there's some amazing content here. We know even during the global pandemic, people are busy, but this is really great stuff. So how do we bring you to it? How do we get you engaged? And, you know, who doesn't love cash? So we had some great sponsors. Local Telecommunications came in, and not only did you know, they support the contest as it was with the cash prizes, they put up an iPad for the student with the most points. So basically, the gist of the contest was jump onto our website, take these courses, and as you complete the courses, you receive certificates. And then you complete the full pathway, you get a pathway certificate. Upload those to confirm that you completed it, and you'll get a point. So 1 point per course, 10 points per pathway. We had, you know, some 600 courses completed during, you know, the competition during the 30 days. But Juan and Gabriella had me at the moment they registered, because we utilized the Jot form profile for registrations, and people could leave notes or questions as they registered. And when Juan registered, it said, father-daughter team, let's do some learning, let's have some fun, or something, you know, to that. And it just was one of those things that stuck in my mind. So then when everything ended at midnight on the 31st of December, New Year's Eve, I literally finished my New Year's Eve bonfire with my husband, my kids, and then came in and checked the computer, and people were uploading until that very last second, which, you know, I love.
Yes.
And to see theirs come across, and it was just course after course after course. And to see them win it, they won the team division, not the individual division, but they won the team division. So they, their story is pretty special, because, and I'll let them tell it. Actually, I will let them tell it, but they outscored the second place team by almost 50 points, which is a lot when we're talking about learning courses and education. So super proud of them, super excited, and it's just a really fun story.
Well, I've had the pleasure of working with GWATA on different things over the years, and I'm always happy to say yes to what they ask for, because they are so creative and knowledgeable, and their team is just, I've seen them in meetings, and they just are so passionate about what they're doing. And I know that you get that feeling as well to be part of that team. So.
Oh, totally. I mean, this has been one of the biggest silver linings, of 2020, being asked to come on board with GWATA and do this work. Jenny Rojanastatian, who runs it, the executive director, who partners also then with Apple STEM and Dr. Sue Kane. I mean, seriously, like I said, luckiest girl in the world, to be here. So.
Well, let's end it right there. Thank you so much for sharing this, and please keep sending me information like you do through email when something great's happening. I just want to share the great stuff, and this is definitely part of it. So thanks so much. Take good care, and enjoy your family time.
Yeah, thank you. You as well.
Okay, we'll be back. Joining us on the show now is Juan and Gabriella. They are the father-daughter team that we mentioned in my conversation with Cari. And I'm just delighted we've talked a little bit off air, just getting to know them before doing the interview, and I'm delighted to share their story with you and their ambitious win of their category in the contest, the Upscalathon. So thank you both. Let me get you on here. Thank you both for being here.
Inviting us.
Thank you.
Yes, Cari was so impressed with you from the very start. I just want to get to know you a little bit and share your background with the audience. So tell us about yourself as a student, Gabriella. Where do you attend school, and what made you decide to do this course or this a-thon?
Yeah. I go to Moses Lake High School here in Moses Lake, but I'm a Running Start student at Big Bend, so I'm still like covering those like prerequisite courses for like future related stuff, and also covering my high school at the same time. So that's working really well for me, and I like going to school to Big Bend. And yeah, the whole goal of getting to completing this upskill program was, my dad had bought me a camera because I wanted to start a new hobby, and I'm hoping to get into that and start learning about it more. But he bought me a camera, and I wanted to pay him back, and so we ended up just doing it. So yeah.
Well, what grade are you in, Gabriella?
I'm in 11th grade.
11th grade. And you're one of 3 siblings. You're the middle, older and younger siblings. What have you, how were you even connected to know that this contest was happening? How did you find out about it?
So my dad had a teacher that posted about it, or someone he knew posted about it from school. And because we're both at Big Bend, we were like, we talked about it, and we thought it would be really good if we did it. So.
And Juan, thank you also for being here. And like I said, Cari was really impressed with both of you, and for you to get involved and be excited about it. Tell us about your job, and then also all the things that you're doing right now to further your education.
Okay, I make pizzas for a living for a restaurant in town, and I am also a student for network system administration here in Big Bend. So my advisor posted on our page this UpSkill-A-Thon marathon, and I told Gabby about it. I told her, hey, it's some money, and it's gonna be fun. We can learn a lot, and those courses are gonna be good for your professional life. Mm-hmm. So I told her, and she goes, yeah, let's do it.
Well, I think that's pretty special that you put together that learning also could afford you to pay your dad back for that camera. Have you been doing much with the camera? You're starting to learn?
Yeah, I started playing around with it, and I've taken a couple pictures of my pets. We can't really go around right now because of the whole COVID, but I'm excited to start getting into it and learning about it. I've been watching a lot of videos and all that. Yeah.
And how long have you been in school, Juan, and what's your trajectory? When do you expect to finish, or what's your end goal?
Okay, I'm a returning student for many, many years, and yeah, I've been always very optimistic and pushing a lot of, my computer side. I'm a fan of computers and electronics and all that. And then I was trying to do something because I like to go and work for maybe a data center will be good for me. a good start. I have a lot of plans in completing my certificates, which it was the same plan, to get preparation for the certificates here in this page on Upskill. So it was completing very much what I was doing previously.
Yeah, so you were just getting more of an education, and you guys were getting paid to complete certifications. Cari explained that process to us in the first segment. So now in talking, just like I said, getting to know you better, what about your relationship? Because there's some parent-student teams that might not work as well as yours did. So what about the two of you made you such a success at it?
Since this, pandemic started, we've been doing things together as a family. We are just 4 people here at home, and we are doing many activities. We have a tradition for them and for us to do our job, and for them to do their homework, so we can gather for dinner, and after that we can have a family time. And also for the weekends, we started to do this like for a very long time since the pandemic started. So our relationship is been doing better through this, because we try to do like fun activities together and combine our fun with things that are gonna be good for our lives.
Right, that also benefit your futures. What was the most fun part about it for you first, Gabriella?
Well, for me, I think, well, it was a really like complex journey because, you had to make up the time to just and we would do it in the morning and the afternoons after my parents got home from work. But I think the main idea that pushed me to keep on going was the end goal. It was just, we were like, we're gonna do this, we're gonna win. And that was really the fun part. And a lot of the stuff was the courses, they were nice things to know. The soft skills one was probably one of my favorites. And I'm in an extracurricular group. It's called Gear Up at the high school. And I work with a group of ambassadors. And from the soft skills, it was just really cool to learn how to work with other people. And yeah, I liked it a lot.
What was the most fun for you? Yes.
For me, I was taking some of the courses previously, some of them for the CompTIA certification. But as soon as I saw this, I thought it was a great opportunity to push myself harder. And then I was working, and I was trying at the same time not to go behind, because I knew Gabby was going to be full-time doing it. So
You wanted to keep up with her.
I was making my pizza, and seriously, I just put my cell phone in front of me. I was watching the videos and doing my job. And then when I was trying to complete the quizzes, I had to stop doing my job, complete the quiz, and come back to work all the time. So I was pushing myself and keep an eye on Gabby. So I was trying not to get very behind. So I was trying to do my best to not be behind Gabby, because I know she works really hard. But she was pushing me all the time. So it was a really nice challenge, my daughter.
Well, and you're a great example to her for sure. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, I just want to dive a little bit into the specific coursework. We'll have a few minutes to talk about it for people who aren't sure what it is you were learning and might be interested in doing some of that learning in the future. So we'll take a break and come back and talk with Juan and Gabriella. We're here talking with Juan and Gabriela Servin, and they are the winners, the team winners is I think what they were called, of the Upscalathon. They decided to do this together as a father-daughter team and competed all the way through, completing their certificates. Gabriella, tell me what was maybe one of your favorite courses. You got a little bit into that with the soft skills, but tell us a little bit of the curriculum and why you liked it so much.
Okay, so yeah, the soft skills course has a bunch of different sections, the videos you go in, and there's different parts of the whole entire course itself. But I think it was really fun to know that your help when working with other people, you're using your soft skills to not only talk to them, but also like help yourself understand like how you feel working in the working environment. And I thought that was really cool because, you know, like every day I go to school, even though it's online, I can like talk to my peers and I know that I can be nice to them and we have a mutual conversation. I could just use my soft skills to, you know, like get to know people and make connections. And that was really helpful to me.
And that's a very important skill coming into adulthood and the workplace and your career, because a lot of it is how you present something, right? How you project yourself towards somebody else's idea or something, so that everyone kind of has mutual respect for each other, for sure. How about you, Juan? What was your favorite course and what was it about specifically?
My favorite course was the A plus for CompTIA certifications. Those are IT certifications, which I was always looking for everywhere. Like, they are very nice, very cool information, and there's like confirming what I was studying all the time here at Big Bend. So it was, for me, a really nice thing to see, like getting more deep into my IT field. So that was the most important for me in these courses, and also complementing the soft skills. It's a big deal to know all the important part that we need to complete for our professional careers, to have all the soft skills that we need to interact with other people and get the job done for all of us at the right time.
We have just a couple minutes left. So tell me, either together or separately, what did you learn from this, doing it together, and what would you tell people who are thinking about doing it themselves in other ways and thinking about these courses? Gabriella, you said you completed 107 certificates over that time. So you have a vast amount of information. But just you and your dad working on it together, and what did you feel like was your biggest takeaway?
I think the skills of the courses themselves were really like fun to do. It was definitely worth it because we would get home and he would get home and I'd be like, what courses did you get done today? Or like, how many have you gotten done? Or like questions like that. And then we like have things in common. And it was funny because this one time at the table, I told my mom a random fact and I was like, yeah, I got that. I learned that from the courses we're doing.
Yeah, actually we did a family activity together. Like, it was like a calendar for planning activities for the family. So we can join, all these courses in one topic in our family activities. And also we were always, commenting and, talking about what you did in the morning, what you learned, what is new, what do you think. So it was like a special connection after, just the being parent and daughter. It was perfect it was fun.
Well, that's a good thing. And that's one of the things that Cari Horning said in the first segment, that when you signed up, you said, we're going to learn some stuff and we're going to have some fun. So I'm glad that you were able to achieve both of those goals. And you'd shared with me as well that you were able to do completely different courses based on your interests. So you weren't all doing the same courses, or you weren't both doing the same courses. So I really appreciate you sharing your story, and I wish you the best. I'm going to have to try one of those pizzas at some point, Juan.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Thanks so much for being here. I appreciate your time, and congratulations on a job well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you want to become part of the most dependable brand of vehicles today? Then start looking at Town Toyota. Come drive the best-selling, totally redesigned 2019 RAV4. Come check out the powerful towing performance of the Tundra. It's built for the worksite and the weekend. Forge your own path and seek tougher roads in the Tacoma. Leave no trail left unchallenged. Whatever your vehicle needs, Toyota has a seat for you. Come visit us today.